Well, most fruit juices pass themselves off as being made in Australia, but the truth is most are not. The concentrates used come from countries with terrible farming practices banned here long ago. Laura Sparks reports the result is some juices are laced with toxic chemicals, and our scientific testing proves it.
That chemical shouldn't be in that juice at all.
If it comes from China, it should say from China. If it comes from Brazil, it should say from Brazil.
It's carcinogenic. I suppose it's like any insecticide or fungicide. If you overuse it, there's a problem.
Orange and apple juices are Australia's favourites. We drink about 493 million litres every year, forking out $1.8 billion. But most popular brands on our supermarket shelves, with labels that clearly state made from imported and local product, contain virtually no Australian juice.
The consumer believes that at least a percentage of that juice in the bottle is from Australian producers, and the reality is that there is none, that it is all from China. And
our exclusive tests prove hidden toxic chemicals.
It's been overused, then it shouldn't be found in the product.
We don't know what's in the concentrate that's coming into Australia. We do about 7,000 tonne of fruit.
David Gartrell has been growing apples and making juice for 3 decades. Together with 35 other farmers, he's in a cooperative called Appledale. But you won't find his juices here on the supermarket shelves. Instead, his juice goes into the apple juices that are 100% Australian, found in the refrigerated section of a supermarket.
The only thing that's Australian in the apple juice on the grocery shelves is the bottle and the water. The rest of it is imported concentrate from China.
It's the same too for South Australian citrus farmer Ron Gray. He says the orange juice concentrate used in the bottles on the supermarket shelves is from Brazil, and it's up to 12 months old.
My understanding that the orange juice concentrate that comes from Brazil isn't orange. If you have a look at it in a drum while it's frozen, it's actually almost yellow. They have to use a little bit of Australian orange juice to get the colour correct.
In the last year, 75 million litres of orange juice concentrate has flooded in from Brazil and 32 million litres of apple juice concentrate from China. Only 5% of it is tested by the federal government's Australian Quarantine Inspection Service.
It's obvious that the growing conditions of these products are not the same as our Australian farmers are required, and that is a great concern.
AusBuy's Chief Executive Officer Lynn Wilkinson believes the federal government's testing regime for imported juice isn't vigilant enough. So Today Tonight put every apple and orange juice on the supermarket shelves to the test. 8 bottles of each. Every major brand from Coles, Woolworths and Aldi. An Australian accredited lab tested for heavy metals and 250 different chemicals.
There was a consignment of concentrate going into India that has been tested and come up with some very alarming residue levels, and so it just concerns us as growers and as apple juice producers that the same sort of thing could happen with this concentrate coming into Australia.
We found traces of fungicides present in 3 of the juice bottles. In the berry orange juice, we found imazalil. Again, the same chemical was found in the golden circle orange juice.
Basically shouldn't be in the orange juice at all.
In the Coles apple juice, a trace of the fungicide Captain was found. All 3 juices are still considered safe. The levels we found fall under the legal limit allowed. But the fact that they were there at all has the farmers worried.
If it's there present in the juice, I think the chemical has probably been overused.
Would you expect to find that fungicide in any Australian juice?
No, I wouldn't. I'd be very alarmed if I found it in any of the Australian juices.
The apples here in the Appledale packing shed were only allowed to be sprayed up to 3 weeks before harvest. That means by the time they're picked, any dangerous chemicals have disappeared. So in fact the apples are chemical and residue free. So if you buy juice from this factory, you're guaranteed of getting 100% Australian fresh juice that's chemical-free.
Under normal circumstances, fungicides should not be in a juice.
Ausbuy is lobbying the federal government to demand changes to the country of origin labelling. In the meantime, Lynn gives this warning to shoppers.
Avoid buying products which say made from local and imported ingredients, particularly in the area of fruit juices.
Feedback that we have is that consumers, shoppers would like clearer labels around country of origin.
Ingrid Just is from consumer watchdog Choice. They too are campaigning for country of origin labelling.
If the juice concentrate is coming from China and that is the characterising ingredient in that orange juice, then consumers tell us they would like to have China listed on that label.
For Ron, the imports are almost forcing him off the land because he just can't compete. He's getting only up to 3 cents a kilo for his oranges sold for juicing.
Please try to read the labelling laws as best you can. You're going to struggle. You will not find 100% that easy. But if you could, and you'd certainly help farmers, that's for sure, and you'd turn an industry into a growing industry instead of a shrinking industry.
And a review on country of origin labelling has been handed to the government. A decision is expected within months, so hopefully by next year you'll know exactly what you're buying.